with Instagram and social media and the internet anymore, like there is no excuse for going to a bad tattoo artist.
Stay tuned for our conversation with Shannon Wages, tattoo artist.
This is Kelli.
That was Kelli. This is Sue.
Welcome to Front Porch AF, where friends and neighbors
Gather to have a drink and a laugh and figure out how to solve all the problems of the world.
And I tell you what, we got our hands full.
We got our hands full as we record this. There is shit breaking out all over.
It is world is on fire.
But hey, we're here on our audio front porch. Welcome everybody.
Welcome everybody. We're glad to have you. And we're recording. It's kind of a late night for us.
Late night.
7:15.
Oh my Lord! Where's my nightcap? I'm going to bed. Now's the time. We're starting to introduce the topic a little earlier.
Yeah. So our topic is going to be Tattoo Sue.
Tattoo Sue and the art and culture of body ink.
That's right.
We've got a great guest coming on. We'll tell you a little bit about her.
That's right. We got Shannon Wages coming up.
And then in the neighborhood notes, we'll tell you something unusual that happened to me this week.
Exactly. It was very unique and first experience for you.
Okay. The grammar police in me has come out. It can't be very unique. You can either be pregnant or not pregnant. It's either round or not round.
It's not very round?
No.
It could
round. Be. No, square is square.
Anyway,
yeah.
I hear you, but sometimes you kind of flourish the way you talk. A person, not you, a person, flourishes their language a little bit. One could.
One does. As one does.
So anyway, but we're talking about tattoos. Oh, let me tell you about my first tattoo, though, since because we probably won't get to this later. But I got my first tattoo in 1994.
Oh my gosh, that's
the spring of
30 years ago.
Yeah, and I was in vet school, and you had 4 years of vet school, and after the spring of the second year, if you made it through that, I mean, they tried to kill you. We had 100 exams a week for that. Wasn't that? I mean, exaggerating, but it was bad. It was like big exams. Like you'd have 6 or 7 in a week. It'd be crazy. So when you got past that second semester, you knew like you made it. You weren't going to fail out at that point. So I got through that, and I always wanted to get a tattoo. I don't know. I mean, that was even before tattoos were really kind of in vogue. But somewhere deep down inside, I always knew I was a Hell's Angel from the very beginning. And
always knew about you.
Yeah. So I had a friend of mine, and we went to we were in Starkville, Mississippi, and there was a bigger town called Columbus, Mississippi. And in between Starkville and Columbus, Mississippi, there was this guy that had a tattoo shop, and it was kind of in like a trailer, and his name was Buzzard. And so we drove over there, and my friend drew the tattoo, hand draw, and it was an Escalapian symbol, which is the medical symbol with the snake around the staff.
Yes.
But with veterinarians, you put a V. And then, so she just drew it, and I said, "Yep, I want that." And he put it. It took about 15 minutes, and it was done. No. And that was it.
Man. Where is it? And is it still visible today?
Yeah. Unfortunately, pretty quick after Buzzard did it, it began to look like a prison tat. And so, but I kept it. I was so proud of it because when I graduated from vet school and I walked across the stage, we had an MC guy, and he would always tell some funny facts about the person. And of course, my grandmothers were in the audience and everything. And he's like, "Yeah, and Kelli has a tattoo." And so I was so proud. Everybody knew I had a tattoo. And so, anyway, but I got it covered up about 6 years ago with a magnolia, which is so.
Well, sweet magnolias.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
Strong as. Well, that's a little bit of tattoo, but there will be a lot more tattoo coming up. But first, drink of the day.
What are you having?
Okay, this is my attempt to not drink as much during the day so that I can drink more at night, although it is night now. It's a little bit of vodka mixed with sugar-free tonic water, a splash of cranberry, and a squeeze of lime. It's quite refreshing on this hot summer day.
It looks refreshing, and it sounds like it's probably good for your kidneys.
Okay, and I know, yes, for anybody out there who doesn't know, that the only drink Kelly ever brings over here is Miller Lite. But it's always in a different koozie.
Yeah, well, today's Huggy is my Uncle Brent from Tyler, Mississippi had a business called Cut Tools, and this is one of his Huggies. And he sharpened the blades that made the perforations in toilet paper and paper towels. And yeah, these big old...
Oh, my God. You should see my face. My jaw is dropping. I never knew anybody who did that.
Yeah, anyway, that's what his shop was in Tyler. Cut Tools.
Okay, and we will have...
above the best.
We will have... Speaking of things that Dad's made, one of the biggest arguments I ever had with my dad was in 1968 when I found out that he was making screws. He owned a screw manufacturing firm. He made screws for mines that they were using in Vietnam.
Oh.
And I just went...
Oh, my gosh.
I went through the roof, and then he went through the roof and said, "Who's paying for your college, little lady?" So there's a whole argument that we could sit down and talk about one day.
I didn't know your dad screwed.
Okay, my best friend in high school, right after high school, was Joni, I will not fill in the blank, whose dad owned Elkhart Rubber. So we had Sue Havlish, daughter of Osbro Screw Machine Company, and Joni Elkhart Rubber. Tell me we didn't cause some trouble.
That's fantastic.
Cruising up and down the drag. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we got to talk about neighborhood notes. I got to start. I started tutoring ESL classes, English as a second language, this week, and it has been absolutely marvelous for Conexión Americas, an immigrant rights for organization, and we're going to have a representative from Conexión Americas on the show.
Yeah, I'm excited
in a couple of shows down the
road. So
you're
doing that virtually or in
virtually? I finally figured out how to operate a Zoom class and how to make breakout rooms.
Awesome.
Yeah, Techno Sue here. If any of you have seen my YouTube, how I discovered how to make a YouTube channel, I'm a friggin' genius, people.
You are.
And Daisy update. Our update on Daisy the dog, doing much better. Her vet, Dr. Dernan, said she was a good dog for the ultrasound.
She's always a good
And
dog.
she sent me a picture of Daisy laying on the table with her belly shaved.
Aww.
And Daisy's just taking it just so easy. And we'll put that on the...
Daisy's like, just rub my belly.
Yeah. And then, let's see, we're going to wait for the next note. Okay.
Well,
you've got... You went horse camping.
I went to horse camp. I went to Shawnee, Illinois. And it's pretty up there, but they're just like us in a terrible drought. And we were riding through the forest, and like all the little seedling, like sapling, little oaks and things, like their leaves are all brown and everything. It's like, we got to get some rain down here. Well. But one thing I did want to talk about that trip, the Backcountry Horsemen, they're a national organization, but they have little clubs,
branches,
chapters all over the country. And they were there doing a fundraiser because they've lost their federal funding. There's a group of people, and they maintain the trails for horseback riding, hiking, by all that stuff. And they've lost their federal funding, so they're raising money to get, some supplies. And then also they were talking about the rescission of the roadless rule. We have until September 19th, which is...
It will be passed by the time this show airs.
By the time the show airs, and to comment on it.
But we will have links to those organizations on the website when the show airs.
You're right. This will all be done by then. But a lot of people don't know what that means, and what they're doing. What that means is our taxpayer money will go to fund roads, so that businesses can go in and log the timber and make money from our national parks. And there will, the fear is that there won't be any, everybody wants to have good forest management, but the fear is that there won't be any real regulation on it, and they'll go in clear cut. So anyway.
Really? What gives you that idea?
Anyway, if you depending on where we are when you hear this, if there's something you can do to support those organizations, and just, if you like the national forest, think about it.
I have a very important mailbag thing. Usually we do things like they said, hey, your beer koozie is really a huggy, or hey guys, do this, do that. Well, after the last episode with Greta McLean, founder of Silent No Longer Tennessee, it was about survivors of sexual violence and the Me Too movement. A listener wrote me, direct messaged me on the Facebook to thank us for that episode. She had been sexually abused from a very young age. It took her 16 years to face it. And she wanted to thank us. And I wanted to thank you, Miss J, for sharing. I'm so glad that episode touched somebody out there.
That's really nice. I have gotten actually similar feedback from folks. Had a conversation that said, I've had that experience, or my family had that experience, and that show meant a lot.
Let's see. Did you want to have any more mailbag, or did you want me to tell what I did?
I think we might as well just hit. I don't really have much out of the mailbag other than I just have also gotten feedback about people appreciating our porch conversations about current events and how it's nice to hear.
And we now have a YouTube channel where you can find those little longer, we call them porch talks.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, there'll be more about videos, stay tuned. We've got some things up our sleeve. Well, today's topic is Tattoo Sue. And that is because at age 77, I decided to get my first tattoo. There are pictures and there's a little slideshow on the web, and it'll be in socials about and we also had a little contest.
We did.
Last time between should I get DNR tattooed on my chest, do not resuscitate, or a beautiful peace symbol with rainbow colors. Yeah, rainbow-colored peace symbol one. It is absolutely beautiful, and we will have pictures and a little video story about how that happened at Tatuajes Raza with the most wonderful tattoo man, Chuy. Now, I'm going to turn it over to you because you've got more tattoos than I can shake a stick at. I know,
and we're not going to talk about all my tattoos, but I just would like to say that although the peace symbol won, the second comment was DNR needs to be number 2. The second one, after this show, we need to go get DNR.
right across your chest. Darn tootin'.
I definitely think we also need to get something that says, I'm an IT guru. Because you are.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, please, over to you, Miss Kelly.
All right.
Hey, today we have Shannon Wages on the show, and I'm really excited to have Shannon here. Shannon's been a tattoo artist for 19 years. She started off in the world when there really weren't a lot of female tattoo artists, and she's going to talk to us about that today. She really had to fight to make her way to where she is, and a very successful all-female tattoo shop. And she's trained tattoo artists along the way, at least 12 to 15 people, which is a lot. And she's been a great mentor and really a leader to other women that are in the tattoo industry. And I met Shannon, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago. Got a tattoo from her, which was amazing. And then we found out we have all these connections with Mississippi and friends and things. It's been really cool. And I'm really excited to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us today, Shannon.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for coming on our audio front porch.
Happy to be here. Very happy. So, Shannon, before we get started, I noticed that you have something that looks really cool and refreshing in your hand. What's that?
It's a little beverage, vodka, and some soda. And then I felt like I needed to top it off with a little something, so I put a little OJ on there. So it's kind of like it's got an orange soda feel to it.
A girl after my own heart, a vodka girl.
Yeah.
Cheers. Okay.
Cheers. Yep. So, Shannon, we kind of get started here. I'd like to just you to tell us how'd you get to be in the tattoo industry?
I came at it kind of a different angle than a lot of people do. A lot of people walk into a shop and with a portfolio and they try to talk to tattooers into teaching them. And I went to get my first tattoo, and the guy that was giving me the tattoo told me that they needed a counter girl. And I was just chomping at the bit to do it. I was working at Hancock Fabrics at the time, actually.
Hancock Fabric.
I was learning to sew from all those ladies. And the guy told me they needed a counter person, and he'd hire me for $30 a day.
Okay.
And I took it a day. Yeah.
What year was that?
2002.
Wow.
And so I worked there for a little while and then went on to do some other jobs and stuff, and ended up kind of dating a guy that I'd gotten a job there. And he told me that they needed a counter person again. So I went back, started managing that shop, actually. And I just sat there, man, and watched them. You know, the way they treated their clients was kind of shitty. And I thought it was weird. I grew up in customer service. My parents were both entrepreneurs. I was like, this doesn't really seem like the right way to treat people who give you money, you know? So I watched how they did things, and it wasn't rocket science. So I caught on to it, and eventually asked the guy I was dating then if he would teach me, because we were going to run off to Europe together, you know, like every 25-year-old. And he did, and that's kind of how I ended up here. We obviously didn't stay together, but the tattooing stuff.
Well, was it difficult as a woman? Like, that was 25 years ago, basically.
Yeah.
And what was that like? How was that at that point in time?
I think in Nashville at that time, there were maybe 3 other women tattooers. There was a girl at the shop that I worked at that was apprenticing. She didn't end up lasting. A lot of people get into this business and think that they're going to put their artwork on people. And I didn't go into it like that. I went into it like, this is a service. I want to provide the service. What do you want? You know? And the people that unfortunately come in thinking they're going to put their artwork on people, not everybody wants your freaking artwork. You know, they have an idea of what they want. You're a tailor more than a clothing designer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It wasn't hard in that sense coming up in that environment because there was another woman right there beside me. But I think the hard part became when I got to be in charge. Yeah. Not to generalize, but sometimes men don't like that.
They don't like to take instructions from women?
No, not in my experience. On the whole,
that is not exclusive to the tattoo industry.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Way in there. Hey, as long as we're talking about tattoos, you know, I just got my first one.
Yeah.
What about the health and safety requirements?
So, in the state of Tennessee, they have a list of about 20 things that they require a tattoo shop to be, and they come in and inspect us quarterly and make sure that you've got they have a list of supplies that you have to have. You have to have at least 6 setups is what they call it, which is razor, paper towels, ointment, ink, needle, and dental bib, I think.
Well, what are some of the things that would make me as a tattoo customer stay away from a particular tattoo parlor?
It used to be kind of scary because back in the day they used to reuse needles, and I'm not joking. Like
I was going to ask you, everything's disposable now, right?
Every single thing is disposable now, so it's kind of hard. You'd have to go out of your way to be really gross, but anymore, the fact that everything's disposable makes it so easy just to keep a setup to one client. I mean, not that I don't know people who aren't necessarily the cleanest. You don't put anything on your tray while you're working. If you see somebody trying to eat or drink while they're tattooing, obviously that's really bad. You need to leave. Somebody that doesn't wear gloves to do everything.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The typical things. You'd probably notice something.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Shannon, you've so you've been tattooing for a long time. You have a lot of tattoos. And one question I have for you, and I've kind of talked about this before, but not in any detail. Like, what is it like to be a heavily tattooed person and like go places? And maybe it's away now and maybe it's evolved, but can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, that's changed so much. I used to be able to walk around in Nashville, and if I saw somebody with a full sleeve, I probably knew them. Or at least I knew someone who knew. If there was somebody that came in with tattoos into the city and they were walking around, I'd be like, oh, who's the new tattooed guy? You know what I mean? Especially women. Women were not heavily tattooed, and people used to give you strange looks, and they still do in some cities. Nashville is a really heavily tattooed city, so we don't have that sort of stigma. But there are, I was in Myrtle Beach a few years ago, and it felt pretty weird.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I was wondering.
You just used a phrase that I've never heard, a full sleeve. What's your full sleeve for tattoos? I'm going to make a guess.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would consider it your arm at least 3/4 of the way covered.
Gotcha.
With things, and maybe not even wall to wall, because, traditional tattooing has a lot of open space left in it. They sometimes fill it with stars and little dots and spider webs and things like that. So that, that's something that can get there a lot faster than wall to wall color, like, full portraits and full color florals and things like that.
Yeah.
But they used to say 10 hours is the minimum for a half sleeve.
Okay.
So 20 hours would be a full sleeve, I would probably say. 20 hours of tattooing.
Okay.
So Shannon, what about face tattoos? Like, that's a whole nother level, right? What do you think about that?
It used to be something reserved for tattooers, and it was kind of like a badge. If you had a face tattoo, you had been in the industry for years. You were seasoned, you were a master sailor, But now it's like, all you got to do is be a bartender in East Nashville. It's crazy. I think these people are insane getting their faces tattooed, if you're not in the business. But to each his own. I love it. I like that people are doing it, but I remember when my first coworker got his face tattooed, and I was like, oh, he's lost it. He's gone off the deep end.
Oh boy.
Well, Shannon, do you remember
when and your neck used to be job stoppers? Your freaking face, though? Come on. I don't know.
Do you remember when you got your face, your stars and stuff on the side of your...
Oh, yeah.
I
felt like such a badass.
And I texted you and said, are you okay?
I remember that. I forgot about that. She's in some sort of crisis, clearly. This is like bangs, but way too far.
Way further than bangs.
Which is funny now because I've got bangs that cover up my face tattoos pretty much. Kind of. We're getting through there, really.
Can we see them?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This one's really cool.
All right, now hold on.
Yeah, that one's. That's the one that I texted her about.
I'm taking a screenshot of this. Turn around. Well,
I can screenshot it on the Zoom.
Okay, screenshot it on the Zoom because
I got it.
Our listeners,
we got over there
the podcast.
Yeah.
So thank you. Oh, that's cool. And yes,
I like that one. That was cute.
Yes, listeners, these cats will be on the web. All right.
One thing about Shannon that our listeners should know is that she lets her friends tattoo her. People that are not tattoo artists. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things to do. If you've ever been in a bar with me past 10 o'clock, there's a 90% chance you've tattooed me.
I'm going to stay out of this one.
I haven't tattooed her yet. We have been in a bar, but not yet.
That would be a good podcast.
Oh, that'd be fun. So, all right, Shannon, I have a really interesting question what tattoos do you refuse to do?
I don't know a lot of the gang tattoos, kind of funny related story. I did some tattoos for this guy one time. It was like right after the flood. It was 2010. This guy came in. I was working at a tattoo shop over on Nolensville Pike. And it was kind of shady, you know, and this guy, though, he's real clean cut and stuff, comes in and he's like asking for acorns and skulls and, you know, kind of cool sounding stuff. I was like, sure. So I put something together for him and did it. And he came back in a little bit later and he's like, hey, I've got this medal I want you to tattoo on me. It's my grandfather's from the war. And I was like, whoa, that sounds really cool. And I was like, you know, I'm just going to take it back and make a photocopy of it really quick because, you know, you didn't really have other ways to, I don't even know if I had a digital camera at the time. In 2010, I should have, but I was a poor tattooer at the time. And I walked back to the copier with it and my coworker saw me and was like, what the fuck are you doing with that? And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, Shannon, that's an SS medal.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. And I was like, oh, shit. His grandfather's from the war. Oh, my God. So, I think.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I walked back out there and I was like, here, dude. I was like, I can't do this tattoo. Oh, why not? Why not? You did this one. And I was like, yeah, but this one's a Nazi tattoo. Like, I can't touch that, man. He was like, but this one's got. And he starts pointing. I had done the SS lightning bolts on him already. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, God.
I had no idea.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, all right, dude, you got to go. Get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We ran him out the door. But if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
So if I know something's obviously a hate sign or a gang sign or, you know, something that could hurt someone. One time I refused somebody because he had just broken up with his girlfriend and he wanted love sucks across his back.
Oh.
And I was like, dude, I'm not doing that. Come on. You don't really want that. No, I really, really do. And then I saw him a couple of years later and he was like, hey, thank you. That would have been a bad move.
Yeah, a tattoo is pretty much forever. By the way, do you undo tattoos? What is that?
I cover. Like today, my client was a cover-up.
Ah, okay.
So I do a lot of cover-ups. That's probably two a week at a minimum.
Yeah.
Because not many tattooers like doing them. I love doing them. They're super fun. It's like a little puzzle.
Did you hear Kelly's story about her first tattoo? She thought it looked like a prison tat, and so she had it turned into a magnolia.
Yeah, it did look like a prison tat.
Not from you. This is from
not from you. Yeah.
Which one is this?
It's a long story, but it was when I got. Yeah, I talk about it on the pod, but I did it before I met you, and a guy named Buzzard did it in his trailer. Buzzard in Mississippi. Yeah, it started to look like a prison tat really early. So
why is everybody in Mississippi that tattoos got some weird name? There was a guy named Happy from our town.
It's a Mississippi thing.
Happy Shannon,
before we go, I have two more questions. Like, okay, so we talked about the things you don't want to do, and I totally appreciate what you say about that. But like, what are the coolest tattoos you're doing? What's your favorite thing? And I think I know what you're going to say, but I
love floral, man. I love floral cover-ups. They're really fun. You know, it's challenging, like to make sure that the dark spots are all in the right place and the highlights are all in the right place. And I really like it when somebody has something. I was telling my client today this. I was like, I'm not happy that you got a tattoo that you didn't like, but I am happy that we get to cover it up. So yeah, kind of funny, you know. And plus, when I see their face when they look down, and she didn't like her arm so much for so long, and now she looks down and it's like, oh, I just love it so much. It's a cool feeling to see that transformation for somebody to go to something that they hated to something that now they're really proud of, you know.
Oh, that's super cool.
That's a great
cool.
Great story.
But before we go, I think, Shannon, do you have any advice for people that are considering getting tattoos, things to think about, or
do your research? You have to do your research. With Instagram and social media and the internet anymore, like there is no excuse for going to a bad tattoo artist.
Oh, wait,
like you've got,
yeah.
I am pulling that quote. Would you say that again?
In modern digital era where you can look at portfolios from your armchair, like it's crazy to get a bad tattoo. There's no excuse for going to a bad tattooer.
And with that, all right, I've got to thank.
We'll leave it there.
I'll thank you first, but then I'll let my tattoo guru thank you from our heart.
Shannon, thank you so much. And Sue and I cannot wait to come down to your shop and get Sue's second tattoo.
Yeah,
and
we're going to be matching. We're going to
get matching tats. We're super excited about it.
Wait a minute. I'll let Kelly tattoo me, and then we can all be matching.
They will all be matching. I love it.
And we will be videotaping because we're going to start doing videos of the. All right. It's a date, kiddo. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. We're back in the studio now. It's really nice to have Shannon with us.
Yes. Thank you, Shannon.
Yeah. Thank you, Shannon. Thanks for making the show pretty special. And thank you, Chuy, because.
Wait till you guys see this gorgeous tattoo.
Put up with us that night.
Oh, all of us, not
of
just
us.
you and me. It was Mark and Piper.
And
the little slideshow has all of it, and we've got little video clips that we'll be putting up. It was one of the best nights of my entire life. I will say
it was a fun night,
and I wasn't even drunk because you can't get a tattoo drunk in Tennessee. It's against the law.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere you can get a tattoo drunk? Maybe.
Manila. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know. Sue, what have you got about? You wanted to talk about getting your tattoo after 77 years.
I did.
What does it mean for you?
Well, one of the points of this show, one of the things we do is try to make an idea for making a positive difference. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, how in the world is getting a tattoo making a positive difference? And I sat and I thought, and I said, I waited 77 years to do this. And when I did do it, the tattoo is something extremely meaningful to me. Mm-hmm. That peace symbol, that's 1968, the year that marked my adulthood, who I am. And the rainbow, the inclusion of the rainbow. These days, I could have had that public fucking statement on my body saying that for decades. I waited too long.
You didn't wait too long. You waited till just the right moment.
So don't wait
when you needed it.
Don't wait, folks.
Don't wait. We only have 4,000 weeks. I was at a seminar, and when we were in Australia, we heard this guy talk, and he's like, "You have 4,000 weeks," and
that's like 80 years. Yeah.
Ever since I heard that, it's like that's my mantra.
We have 4,000.
You got 4,000 weeks.
You've got 4,000 weeks. Me.
Oh no, none of us. Neither one of us still have 4,000 weeks. But that's what you start with, and you. Don't let a moment pass by. If it's something you want to do, go do it. Just go fucking do it.
Yeah. And now upcoming shows do we have excitement? You didn't get to go to the Grassroots and Nudie Suits Festival last week. You missed it. Missed it. I have photos, and they will be on the web. But that was where
was it awesome?
It was kind of awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. We are going to have our neighbors from here on the Bend and in Madison, Laura Jo Amaral and award-winning photographer Stacy Huckabee.
Oh, yeah.
And their new book, hang on to it, Madison, Portraits of Our Neighbors. We keep telling you it's different here in Madison and out here on the Bend. Our hood has its very own coffee table book.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this.
You're not going to believe it.
I can't wait to see it.
Oh, my God, look at hey, we got to wrap this up.
All right, let's wrap it up. And I say next time you see somebody with a tattoo and you think it's pretty, artistic, or if you just think it's weird and you want to know why they got it, just ask them.
Ask them.
There's always a story.
There is always a story. So frontporchaf.com. Like and share us with your friends. Wait a minute. This is your gig. You
sign up in advance for notice of our new shows.
And send us your ideas for the shows. We have in the can so many shows that are coming up that were suggestions.
That's right.
From you guys.
That means we listen.
We do.
We care.
Like and share us on socials. Speaking of socials, yes, you will see on our socials the little video of how I figured out how to start a YouTube channel.
I'm so impressed with you.
Thank you very much.
You are really good at that stuff.
I try. Not like the real people. Where can they find us?
Most all places. Facebook, Instagram, but
never. So until next time.
When we gather on our audio front porch and grab a drink
and solve all the problems of the world. Cheers, y'all.